So, a big win for the Chiefs. They are headed to the Super Bowl once again. First team in NFL history to reach the Super Bowl as two-time champions. And now they are going for their third straight, an unprecedented third straight. What was the key, though, to the Chiefs' AFC Championship win, Key?
I think, first of all, there was no turnovers. They didn't give Josh Allen any of those major extra possessions by turning the football over. They didn't give him short fields. They didn't do any of those sort of things. And then when you look at it, they never felt panicked. You didn't see panic in their eyes. When that score was at the end of that game, tied, you never felt like Kansas City Chiefs was like, eh. They just kind of was like, oh, they're going to kick us the ball back. We'll be good. Don't even worry about it. So it was nothing there that made me sit back and go, oh, my God, Kansas City's in trouble here. Just nothing. Everything turned their way, whether it was the catch by Worthy when Patrick Mahomes throws the ball up rather than being sacked. He puts it up. Worthy goes and gets it, takes it from the DB. The ball hits the ground. Typically, when the football hits the ground, it shifts. So if it shifts, it'll be any movement. It was no movement on that football. Everybody's saying the ball hit the ground, hit the ground, hit the ground. That's what everybody, social media, my friends at the Bulls, Bill fans, they going crazy. Man, Kansas City, they cheat for Kansas City. I said, look, man, the ball did not move.
Right.
The ball has to move.
Yeah.
It hit the ground, but never moved. And his hands were still on it. Everything went Kansas City's way. It's like a la all over again. The New England Patriots. It just happens to go our way.
Yep.
I think you create your own luck. You know, people always say, well, it's just lucky things happen. You create your luck somehow.
I agree with that.
Making the plays all the time.
I agree.
Look at that. That ball never moved.
Right. It's amazing. It's amazing. And they make those plays all the time. And the other guys don't make the plays. And we're right back here talking about it again. And honestly, 1-5 and Andy Reid, this is just different. This is different. And I was coming in here, you know, I said, man, I even talked about it last week. How do you stop it? You stop 8-7. How do you stop? You stop 8-7. Well, 8-7 didn't really do much damage yesterday. But I just kept seeing them come up with a different iteration to move the ball down the field. And it's an amazing thing to watch. I was thinking about this, Key and Paul and Joy, when I went to Miami games this year, right? Because now on the sideline, they got these pads and you can go through every play. You know, we used to just get the photos, but they're actually going through the plays, right? And mastermind Andy Reid, mastermind Spagnuolo, they're coming up with stuff. Like, he held that blitz.
To the end.
To the end.
Yeah.
To the end. No, I mean, he came up with that blitz on the sideline, designing stuff right there. Andy Reid. Okay, we got Travis Kelce. He's out. He's not having a great game. Let's use him now to go and run all pick routes for Xavier Worthy, who we got to replace Tyreek Hill up the field, but he can't do that yet. Let's run him on crossing routes and still get him the ball. They're finding efficient ways to make players and get players involved. They know how to use everybody, and they got this technology. We're going to see this for a while. Even without Travis Kelce, I still think they're going to win games in the Super Bowl.
It's unbelievable. It's just like it's like they always, at some point, you always are going to have the lead versus Kansas City. And then at some point, they're going to come up with a critical score and a critical stop. And I just thought that was the key, the defense, the 4th and inches, the stopping them from the 2-point conversion, and let alone Mahomes having his best scoring day of the season. They haven't went over 30 all year long. And then to go back to the Super Bowl, they put up 31 points. So
and
it's a combination
of 30.
Yeah, they averaged 30.
That was averaging 30. It's like they said, okay, that's what we need to do. We're going to do that tomorrow, and let's go and do it. And they get it done.
It's like you never could put your finger on just one thing with them. It's the defense making the play, or Mahomes with his scrambling, or the catch by Worthy. It's just so many different critical plays. They make the right plays at the right time every single week, and that's why they're on their way to a three-peat.
I mean, Lazarus made a play. Juju Smith-Schuster. They Lazarus. He's alive, you know, and made all kind of plays. I'm telling you, man, it's amazing watching. And we're talking about coaching here, and this is what coaching is. This is what great coaching is. Yeah. He takes the talent and he makes it great. And Andy Reid is one of the best.
Andy Reid is spectacular all time. They had some great defensive stops, and the defense was instrumental. But Patrick Mahomes is the reason why they won this game. Patrick Mahomes is the reason why they won this game. Patrick Mahomes is the reason why when they were down and the Bills kind of had a little momentum that you didn't have any anxiety about what was going to happen. Patrick Mahomes is the reason why Lazarus reemerged and they were able to get that first down on the final drive to seal the game because he was patient and had the confidence to make that throw and cover up his own mistakes and do what he always does, which is figure out a way to win.
And he used his legs a lot.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Perfect.
When he was supposed to.
Even to the point,
Exactly.
even to the point where he scores the one touchdown, and Patrick Kelce, Lord have mercy, and Travis Kelce throws an amazing block to get him into the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like that to me is all that is part of team culture, understanding what it takes to win the championship. And this isn't the one.
No, this
is the one.
But there was a great block on that one also.
Yeah. But this one right here, Kelce goes, man, watch out. He's fired up because he realized what he just did. He just literally got in the way of the dude trying to make the tackle. Like, watch out.
Right there.
Let me just, the brilliance. You get brilliant guys like this, and these are nice guys. Patrick, nice guy. Andy Reid, nice guy. They're savages is what they are. They're just savages. That was a play that was just like the play that Josh Allen won when they beat them earlier this season. So they were like, we're going to take a similar play and put you out of this thing.
When y'all don't expect us to do that.
That's savagery. That means I'm taking it personally and beating you.
But again, it's Patrick Mahomes. It all goes through him. We haven't given him any credit all season long. We haven't given Randy Reid really any credit all season long. We've been questioning how good they
were
really
number one
are.
on my board pretty much out of the 18 weeks, at least 14 of them.
Keyshawn Johnson has been giving them credit all season long. The rest of us have had some. Now, to be clear, I picked them to win and three-peat from before the season started. So I was never worried. Never in doubt. Never in doubt. To quote my good friend Nick Wright. This is because of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
We are just witnessing greatness right now, and we're in the midst of it.
And people got to understand the monomaniacal way you got to be about anything, about anything when you're going to do something at this level. Honestly, like, okay, I was listening to someone talk to him the other day, and they were talking about even when he won Super Bowl #2 last year, he was already talking about nobody's ever done a three-peat. Nobody's ever done a three-peat. You ain't celebrated the last one, and you're already thinking about the next one. That's how you get here.
Right now.
That's how you get back here.
Well, on the other side of this game, Josh Allen suffered another defeat at the hands of the Chiefs in the postseason. Despite beating Patrick Mahomes more than any other quarterback in the league, he is still 0-4 against Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, in the playoffs. Ugh. Oh, it's so tough.
Yeah.
But, Michael.
Tried to tell you, Paul.
Do you feel bad for Josh Allen?
No, you can't feel bad for him. I mean, this is, you know, he's just lived, it's the wrong time.
Not Michael out of words.
He's so great. Well, he's so talented. We see this kind of talent. And our mind says, oh, this is championship talent. Lamar Jackson, this is championship talent. All of these guys, this is championship talent. But they just happen to be living in the same time that guy that we just talked about happened to be living. And yes, you're great. Yes, you're super talent. But he is him. And I can't feel sorry for Josh. I mean, you got to try to lock it down and try to do it again because you can't get reborn another year and try to come and live in a different era. That's all you could do. But I don't feel sorry for him. He played great. Josh played great, just like Lamar. I told you guys, I said in this league, you get 7 days and you're going to be right back here. And now you're back here. And we got another tight end that dropped the easy pass. And now you sitting on your, I don't want to rhyme that out. You know what I'm saying? And now he's home sitting on his on his tail, but I don't feel sorry for him.
Let's not call it an easy pass, though, Michael.
Man, that was an easy pass, man.
It's Michael to you.
That looked pretty easy. That looked like you could catch that.
That's not easy, man.
It's right there.
No, but that thing, when you fall into the ground and you trying to come back, that thing moving a lot of different ways. You just, I understand what Mike is saying. It should have been caught.
Yeah.
It should have been caught no matter what, but it's very difficult to catch that.
How many times we keep saying this? Every time it's, this should have happened.
That's why
the toe was on their line.
But that's why you just said, that's why you just said.
You have to be good and lucky.
Michael, have the right people making the right plays when they needed them to.
Do you feel bad for him, Key?
Oh, wow.
Man, you already know how I feel. You already know I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him at all.
He's not really into the fields.
Man.
No, I don't feel bad for him. Look, every player or every organization have a crypto, right? They got their kryptonites. Everybody. I don't care if it was Michael and the Cowboys that had to get through the Eagles. We had to get through the Eagles. Or Michael had to figure out how to beat the 49ers. Or Peyton Manning had to figure out how to finally get past the Patriots. The Pittsburgh Steelers had to figure out how to avoid the Patriots and not play them. It's always going to be that way. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Look, he played great, like Michael said. They put up about 400 yards of total offense. They rushed for $147. He threw the ball all over the lot. They did everything to win, except kidnap number 15 and Andy Reid. If they'd have kidnapped them and left them at the hotel, they win the game. Or they probably they would have had to grab Spags too. So if they can get Spags, Andy Reid, and the quarterback, they might win the game. It's not his fault. Okay, it's just not. But you're running into a gauntlet with those dudes. That's just the reality of it. Even last year, Paul, they had home field.
Yep.
Kansas City goes in there and they beats them, even though they beat Kansas City in the regular season. So it's almost like the best thing for them to do is hope and pray to avoid Kansas City in the. I wonder if they play them this year. Well, they probably will schedule them in the regular season because of the AFC title game. If they can probably avoid playing them in the regular season and save that W for the postseason, then they might win the game.
Paul, you're a little more emotionally in tune than Keyshawn.
Yeah.
You feel bad for
I genuinely feel bad for him because I know that feeling right there. I've been in that situation where I've lost a game 7 and it's heartbreaking, especially his situation's a little different because you've lost 4 times to one guy. He's the only QB in the history of the NFL that's lost to the same guy 4 times.
In the postseason?
In the postseason. Like, that's demoralizing for an athlete. We've all been in playoff losses.
But even
we know that feeling.
Ever, don't you say, lost, he's the greatest. Nobody else beat me.
You still can't hide that feeling. You don't want to talk to nobody. You don't want to go outside. You don't want.
But they play. So they play each other. Joy, they play Paul. They play each other again next year. So here's what I would do. I'd sit my starters and lose on purpose at Kansas City.
That's too much in your head now. It's all the way in your head now. You don't want to be.
I'm trying to help him get a W in the postseason.
Now he got a little Mahomes in his head.
Okay, so
that's too much.
So now you go out there and you beat him in the regular season again next year.
Mahomes on the mind.
But you go out there and you go beat him again in the regular season next year and come all down to this again.
I can sympathize a lot with what he's feeling.
Man.
You put in a lot of work. There's a lot of work behind the scenes that we don't see. That's why, when Dan Campbell was all emotional, losing in the moment in the game, that sucks. Like, it's hard. You feel bad. What could you have done differently? But then all of the energy and all of the sacrifice and all of the therapy and all of the ice tubs and all of the shots and all of the meticulous eating and the stretching and everything that goes into that nobody sees. No, but that's the hard work of it all. Like, we see Sunday, but there's everything that goes on during the week, all the prep, all the, balancing that with your family. You sacrifice so much to get to this opportunity, and it's right there, so close. And again, for the 4th time, you don't get through. That's a lot. But I said before this game, if the Bills were going to beat the Chiefs, there was only one way that they were going to do it. How are they going to do it, guys? Do we have this? I think you have to win this game convincingly. If you stay in a close battle with the Chiefs are going to do what they always do, find a way to win at the end. That is their magic. That is what they've done all season long, and that's what they've done to the Bills several times as well, particularly in the postseason.
You know,
Somebody who watches football told me to say that, but the Bills needed to give them no shot. They had to win convincingly. Leave no doubt. Don't leave it up to the refs. Don't leave it in Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid's hands at the end of the game. Don't hope for a miracle because the spirits are not on your side.
No,
they're not. They're with Mahomes and the Chiefs right now. Like, that energy is on this side of things. You have to win this game convincingly.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen did a fantastic job.
Yeah, he did good.
He did. But you had to do it convincingly if you were going to beat them.
This is the thing, Key, because I don't agree that it wasn't on Josh Allen. It most certainly was on Josh Allen, just like it was on Lamar, just like it was on... Because think about this.
And he did.
You're on the road.
Man.
You're on the road. You have the ball with a chance for a go-ahead drive downfield touchdown for the win. It's on you now. You got yourself in position to win. That's all you can ever ask for. In many games, you be in a road.
Yeah, but the thing is,
think about you got the ball in your hands. Because think about that. If the score was flipped, we would have said, oh, damn, Mahomes is about to drive this down the field and score this. That was Josh's opportunity right there. Right there.
But
that's the window. That's the window.
And you needed a touchdown.
Yeah, and you needed a touchdown. But that's the window they gave you.
But still would have had some time.
Yeah, you was going to leave him too much time. But the problem that you have with that, though, Paul, is you got a dude standing over there, Steve Spagnuolo. He got that tablet like Michael talking about, and he goes back to the first half, the second quarter, the third quarter, certain plays, and he looks at that and he goes, if I go here and we do an ET stun, a corner cat blitz, they're not expecting, and they look at it and they go, look right here. They
say that in my back pocket for the end.
Yeah, I'm going to save this in my back pocket, and I'm going to bring it out when he at least expect it, because I haven't gone corner cat blitz all year long, but a certain amount of percentage. And when they think about it, Buffalo says, well, they only go corner cat 7% of the time. And all of a sudden, it's too late. He starts to float to the right, and you float right into the blitz.
Right.
So it's nothing you can do at that point in time. That's coaching.
And here lies the difference. And it's a thin line between a Patrick Mahomes and a Josh Allen. Now, you flip and Spags running that play against Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes hits that back that was wide open on that play, that last play that Josh Allen threw up in the air. You watch that back, win in motion, right there. There's your open man right there. That back, you see that back coming out of the backfield?
Yeah.
There's your open man. And that's where he should have gotten to.
When he floated
now, when I start talking about playing the game shoulders down and shoulders up, that's shoulders up right there, so you don't have to go shoulders down if you would have recognized. Now, what he did when the back went in motion.
That's what I thought he was throwing it to.
There was a spy over there.
When the back went in motion, what Spags did, he didn't send any DB in motion that would have declared man. So Josh thought he had a zone here. And then they cat blitzed him, and that's how they got. You got to see this.
Watching the game, I thought he was going to dump it to him on the swing route, but he never got back over there.
And that would have been a defensive lineman chasing a running back. You'd have ran all day.
All day long.
Patrick Mahomes sees that play, boop, and the Saints come marching in.
Or the Chiefs come marching in.
Let's talk about the other game, the Eagles making it back to their second Super Bowl in 3 seasons. Saquon Barkley, no surprise, stole the show. But Jalen Hurts was out there looking like a second-team All-Pro and MVP runner-up from Philly's last Super Bowl run. He had 246 passing yards, 4 total touchdowns, and the Eagles' 55-23 win over the Commanders. All right, Key.
I don't play games for stats. I don't play the game for numbers. Any statistical approval from anyone else. I understand everyone has a perceived notion of how they want it to look. Michael Irvin, Paul Pierce, and Joy Taylor.
Do we owe Jalen Hurts an apology?
You damn Skippy, you owe Jalen Hurts an apology. If you are one of those out there that looked at Jalen Hurts and said, well, he can't throw the football. He hasn't been able to show he can throw the football. He can't do this. He can't do that. Yes, you owe him an apology. Because what are you looking at? And these 5 years in the National Football League, outside of his rookie year when he split reps, and then his first year leading them to the playoffs as a full-time starter and losing to the Bucs, What are y'all watching and what are y'all seeing his ability to throw the football? I've watched him throw the football.
Well, Key, when A.J. Brown only has 2 catches in the playoffs, and
but I got to do.
Devontae, who's not touching the ball much,
Paul,
and these are dynamic receivers.
Paul, I got a dude behind me.
That's why we come with the criticism.
I got a dude behind me that just ran for 2,000 plus yards.
Right, true
and
that.
he getting ready to run for another 2,000 in the postseason. Okay? Mm-hmm. Why in the hell do I need to throw the ball 35 times in a game if the recipe is turn around and hand it to 26? When I need to throw it, I have been able to throw it. Yeah. Okay? This is what Jalen Hurts is saying. People, and I say this all the time to Joy when we having conversations. Why in the hell are always the box scores? Why do you run to the box scores instead of looking at the game?
Right.
Michael said earlier on the Man on Monday, his ability to throw the football to a wide open receiver, well, his ability to throw the receiver open. It ain't necessarily the receiver wide open. You throw the receiver open sometimes because ball placement. You put the ball on the outside shoulder, even though the DB is 1 step behind. You put the ball at the front pylon in front of him on the touchdown to A.J. Brown. That is the quarterback position. That is what they do. But for whatever reason, and I still cannot, for the life of me, understand what the hell people are watching when they're watching this young man throw the football. I just don't get it.
There's something about Jalen Hurts, particularly in his style of play, that has always been very difficult for people. Even in his year during the Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl run, when he was the MVP and an All-Pro. Yeah. There was this idea that he was just kind of feasting on the success of the historical defense, which they had that year. But even during that stretch, you had the opportunity to see what they looked like without him. It was not the same.
Not the same team. Or when he was hurt.
Correct. And A.J. Brown is not putting up it's a dependent position. He's not putting up the numbers that he's putting up or looking like the receiver that he is without somebody putting the ball in his hands. So for whatever, I don't know if it's how he entered the league or how things went when he started.
A lot of it goes back to college and how he entered the league.
Yeah, it is very difficult for people to really get into it with Jalen Hurts. I certainly don't owe him an apology because I haven't been critical of him all season. At best, I thought he was maybe injured, and that's why they weren't leaning into it as much. But when you have Saquon, you have to do that. But that's what it is.
Yeah, but he came in, guys. Jalen Hurts himself came in saying he understands. He just wants an opportunity. He has to develop and really work on his passing game, and he has. He has. And he's improved incredibly, and he's improved fast. So, yeah. But is there still room to improve? Absolutely. But let's not be blind of what he has around him. And what I was meaning by that, now, everybody's going to line up in the line of scrimmage. All of those throws, they're pretty man-to-man coverage. You're not throwing through a whole bunch of complex zones and everything. I'm not saying you're not. The job is not to make it as difficult as you can. The job is to use the tools you got to win, and that's what they're doing. But I'm asking you, don't tell me to put Jalen Hurts as a pure passer.
That's not his game.
Okay, I'm saying that too. I don't know why we're trying to make it his game. I
ain't trying to make his game. That's everybody out there in the universe that covers this stuff.
Right, and I want him to be okay with that. I want him to be okay with that. It's amazing that he's wearing the Eagles uniform. This is the same fight Donovan McNabb was fighting 100 years ago, and we're still fighting it. He has to be okay with being the quarterback that he is. That's a running quarterback that can pass over a passer that can run.
I think he's okay with it, but as long as the noise continues to rise every other week or every week after the other week, well, you didn't do this, they didn't do it. He comes out. And he answers the call, and he comes to the podium, and he expresses his frustration of the BS.
We haven't been able to redefine how we evaluate quarterbacks either.
I can't with you, Michael.
But if he didn't have a run game, he had to throw the ball all over the field.
If he didn't have a run game, he had to throw the ball all over the field. But guess what? He got a damn run game.
Right.
And he had a run game the year they went to the Super Bowl when he was second in the MVP voting. So we have to stop.
Well, Keith, I think it's fair. I think the criticism is fair.
No, it's not.
You know why it's fair?
People blind, man.
No,
they're not watching the damn game.
No, this is why it's fair, because when you seen him reach a certain height as an individual, he got to the Super Bowl. He finished second in the MVP, right?
Yes.
So now you look at this team and you see all the weapons they have, And the frustrating part about it is, up until yesterday, I seen Philly at its best potential-wise. When we said this 4 or 5 weeks ago, like, this is probably the best team put together on both sides of the ball. We started to see that potential. We saw Jalen Hurts make good passes. We seen him run. We seen him get it to his receiver. We seen Saquon Barkley. So we saw the best.
That defense.
The best version of Philly was what we saw yesterday, and we haven't seen that all year long. And we're like, you know, if this is the best team offensively and defense, let's see if their potential can be unlocked. And I saw that yesterday.
They waxed Washington earlier in the year.
But I saw it yesterday. It was too many.
They waxed Washington earlier in the year.
A lot of times they were leaning on just Saquon. Last night, I saw Saquon. I saw Hurts. I saw A.J. Brown. I saw Devontae. I saw the potential of this team get unlocked yesterday where they got 55 points, and we saw with their defense, the number one defense, what they did. So we saw the full potential of this team, and that's been the frustrating part, not seeing that all year long.
But different teams give you different opportunities from an offensive standpoint.
Yeah, right.
Depending on who you're playing and your opposition will allow you to only do certain things.
And the Eagles have tapped into a great offense for his given skill set.
Yes.
And we give him all the credit in the world as a leader and two-time Super Bowl, going to 2 Super Bowls. But the reality is, say if we were in a pure drop-back system, I didn't say anything. We're talking about his viability and throwing ability. You're not just talking about him playing football. Oh, he doesn't get enough credit for throwing the football. I give him credit. Credit is for winning, and he's getting that. But he's got one-on-one coverage and everybody in the line of scrimmage. That's part of the game, too.
Michael, baby. You're supposed to get one-on-one coverage when I got a 2,000-yard back. I wish I had one-on-one coverage. I had a 2,000-yard back.
The same thing.
But we are going to have to and
slow down.
This is a
that's what we got to do.
This is an off-season conversation, but we are going to have to figure out what we do with Jalen Hurts, because while it may not be week in and week out, he does have the capability of doing what he did yesterday.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Correct.
And the most important thing that he says in his statement is this little word "win."
That's all that matters.
And that's all that matters. But they win so much that he has been to the Super Bowl, which we know is hard to do.
He's been there twice. Not once, but
2
twice.
times now.
3 years.
But
Two-
here's
2
where the
or 3
win
years.
matters. Here's where you really need that win, and we'll back up off you.
Right.
But this is what I'm saying, though. This is what I'm saying, though, because we have other greats. Okay,
I'm
we have
gonna
other
get so
greats
bad right now.
in the league who have not seen that game. He's going to see it twice now. Now, how it ends, regardless, there are other names that haven't.
And the one that he did play in Jordan, he played phenomenal.
Yet for that fumble, if they didn't have that little fumble, they would have been there. But who fumbled that ball? I know. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. Who fumbled that ball?
I'm just saying, we're going to have to start a dialogue. We have to start a dialogue about this. Because Jalen Hurts has been not one. We're still going to find out if they're going to win. But he has been there, and you don't get an opportunity to win it if you don't go there.
But this is the shitty upper. This is the shitty upper. Because you beat the king. If he beats the king.
Yeah, that's a different. Let's have that conversation 2 Mondays from now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This is an off-season conversation, but we are going to have to have it.
But we got to stop, though, moving the goalposts with this young man every chance we get. Now he got to win the Super Bowl. Now he's got to do this.
No, you always have to win a Super Bowl.
No, I understand that, but he just got there. Let's enjoy the Monday getting there.
I'm the official goalpost mover, okay? I'm looking at things all over the place. But everybody got one goalpost.
Like you said, Joy, there's a whole bunch of dudes that we put in front of him, like Paul got Jaden Daniels in front of him.
Yeah, he win.
The top 4, big 4 in Paul's list.
If he win in 2 weeks.
Joe Burrow been at home the last couple weeks. Okay, last couple years. Okay. This dude done been there twice in 3 years.
2 Super Bowls in 3 seasons. We have to.
Oh yeah, he win. I got an apology for him.
We got to have a conversation regardless of how this.
It's not about him being a great quarterback.
Right,
We're just talking about him getting credit for being a great passer. Right? That's what you're saying.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.